Okay, I don't really know how, I don't know how to begin this, but essentially today I wanted to talk about Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I had heard of Brandon Sanderson, and I don't know, I was never super big into fantasy. I mean, I read, like Narnia and, Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. But I don't know, his books were always like, super thick and, like they just seem super complex, and I get overwhelmed easily. Like I had to reread Fellowship of the Ring like 3 times before like I could actually like finish it, or like reread like the first part. So I borrowed Mistborn from a friend and I was reading it, and I got to about like chapter 3 or 4 or whatever, and Vin meets Kelsier, and they're talking about allomancy and the powers, and I'm like, oh, this is really awesome. Like I really like this. And so I got on Amazon and ordered my own copy. Just because I like to. So I tab my books. I recently got into that, and I also like to I'll underline stuff in them, like you can see, or maybe you can see. Overall, I really liked Mistborn. I thought it was really great. I'd probably rate it like an 8.5 out of 10. And this is my first Brandon Sanderson book. I'd never read him before. And I definitely want to. I liked Mistborn, and I bought The Well of Ascension off Amazon. And I'm looking forward to finishing the trilogy. My friend tells me that he liked it. It's pretty good. If you've read Mistborn, you know what it's about. It's basically this group, this thieving crew, are trying to bring down the final empire. The big bad guy is the Lord Ruler. He's like the Voldemort, the Sauron of this series, and he's the main antagonist, the Lord Ruler. I think that allomancy is really cool. These people basically can push and pull on metals. It was really refreshing to see a fantasy novel, to read a fantasy novel where someone, isn't waving a wand and casting a spell. I really like that. This, and especially as, I'm a Christian, and I don't want to get into the whole, fantasy Harry Potter debate. I do like fantasy, but Brandon Sanderson, I guess, would call it magic. That's how people describe it. The magic system. People like this book because of how unique the magic system is. So like on a surface, I guess you call it magic. It's allomancy, but it's not. I like that it's not witchcraft. It's not divination. No one's summoning demons or like telling fortunes. So as a Christian, like I could get behind this magic system. And honestly, it felt more science fiction based to me than fantasy. And that's not a knock on Mistborn. I still really liked it. I'm just saying the way that everything was explained. Pushing and pulling on metals. 10 enhances your senses. Pewter makes you stronger. I really like that there was a table. There was a table in the back of this book. The one thing I didn't like was that, so they have the table, but then so they have the table in the back, but right across from it is literally the last page of the novel. And I'm like, I had to be very careful because I wanted to read what all the different metals do, but I also didn't want to spoil the ending for myself. So I wish they would have. And they did fix that in The Well of Ascension. In The Well of Ascension, it starts on another page, so you don't accidentally get spoiled or whatever. But yeah, basically this is the magic system. And like I said, the magic in Mistborn isn't it's not witchcraft. Nobody's casting a spell. It's very unique. You can push on steel. Zinc riots people's emotions. Brass brass soothes emotions. If you burn copper, you can hide the fact that you're using allomancy. Yeah, I liked the world. You know, the sky is black and red and ash falls like snow. I really liked all the characters. I liked Vin. I thought she was pretty cool. I liked Elend, Kelsier, Sazed. And I liked how Vin was like this, you know, Vin's our protagonist, and she joins the thieving crew. She joins the thieving crew, and, you know, they send her at all these different balls where she dances with different guys, and she's like their spy or whatever, and spreading gossip. And I like that Kelsier, how he Kelsier hated, you know, the nobility, the noblemen. He wanted them all dead, but then towards the end of the book, you know, his feelings did change. I like seeing how Vin grew as a character. You know, she's this shy, timid girl, and then she gets to know all the guys, and she gets more confident, and she's more confident with using her powers and all that. So now I'm going to get into the stuff that I didn't like about this book. Some of it had to do with the writing style. A lot of times, like during conversations, Vin would raise her eyebrow, and then Kelsier would frown, and then, you know, Kelsier would raise an eyebrow, or or roll their eyes. That was another big one. Someone like, you know, Kelsier rolled his eyes, Sazed rolled his eyes, Vin frowned, and honestly, it got pretty repetitive and kind of annoying. So that was one thing I didn't like, was just, I felt like that Brandon Sanderson could have cut a lot of that. Something else I didn't like was the character of Spook. I didn't really like him. I found him kind of annoying, mainly because I could never understand what he was saying. You know, as always was wuzzing up something down in the city or something like that, you know. But other than that, I mean, I liked all the characters. I liked all the, you know, the powers and stuff. It was pretty cool. Like I said, I did buy the Well of Ascension, and if I like that, then I'll get the Hero of Ages. And I look forward to reading more Brandon Sanderson. I think I want to read Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I'd also like to try The Way of Kings, which I know is part of the Stormlight archive. So I'm excited for that. I also bought the first Wheel of Time book off Amazon, The Eye of the World. That's something else that I want to read. I've heard good things about that series, and I know Brandon Sanderson finished that series for Robert Jordan after he passed. Yeah, overall, I think I'm a Brandon Sanderson fan. I look forward to reading The Well of Ascension. And, man, so many cards. But yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think of Mistborn? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know down in the comments. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're watching this, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.